Okay, I think I have the right logos. Stream's probably popping up shortly.
Check my settings. Homies. Wow. So prepared. Look at that. Oh, you probably should do some intro or something.
I just hit the 1 minute ad button to get the pop-up roll-up ads out of the way.
Wow. You're so professional.
Okay, so you got Conquest, HPG Manifold, 15-minute match, first person only. Yeah, okay. So the question is if we want to have a tonnage limit or not, because it makes it harder for them to switch mechs around. So, up to you.
Oh, I did it.
So if you like crank that tonnage limit up, then we don't have to worry about any of that, and then they can just police themselves on whatever.
Well, they can. They're at 505, so they can definitely do what they need.
Yeah.
Other than min ton. Oh. Sure. See, you got to do the thing. Gosh, Therax. Are we live yet?
Yes, we are live.
Wow, fantastic. Well, I see. I just got the notification. Guess who's back?
I am back. Both of us are back. We're back with another cast. It's T-Rax and the captain, and we are casting Division D. It's a match between FJORD, and then they have some more stuff behind that. I think it's Dervin time or something. And then we've got Aces Wild on the other end. Apparently we've got some technical issues we're working through here, but anyway, so it's Intersphere Coalition Season 5, and this is a Intersphere mech only little 5-week league. We're in week 4, and we're playing Conquest game type, but with only 3 caps legal for teams to take, and we've got a little 6v6 here going on. So 6v6, 250 tons. This is going to be a fairly light drop.
Yeah.
Okay, looks
get
like
out of there.
Yeah. Okay, we're fixing our technical issues here.
Yeah, I'm just bullying these guys. That's all. This is my fault.
So these two teams are coming into this week. What did I say? They were tied, right? There's a couple multi-way tie in Division D.
I believe you said.
Yeah, so both these teams are 2-1, and there is a team in the division that is 3-0, but Aces Wild plays them next week, so there's a potential if Aces Wild wins here and they win next week, they can get first place. And FJORD, they're looking to win here as well and win next week. And then if the team ahead of them, which I believe was Op4, I'm going to check that. Yeah, Opposing Force is the team leading the division with a perfect 3-0 record. I don't know what the result this week is if they have played yet.
Op4.
So, yeah, Op4 is leading. So if Op4 wins out, they win the division. But if Aces Wild beats them next week and wins here, then Aces Wild will get first place. FJORD picks up a couple wins, and then Op4 picks up a loss at some point. Then so there's some implications here for these teams to try and get first place, and there's also the possibility that they're playing for second or third. See how things shake out.
Absolutely. Looks like both of these teams are already locked up here, so we're just gonna hop right into the action, Therax. The first map's HPG. It's the light tonnage. Here we go. I'm gonna just hit the button. Yeah.
All right.
What are you thinking for strategy on this one, Therax? The 20 seconds we have here. You think they're just gonna run at each other? You think we're gonna see any range play? You think we're gonna see some cheeky stuff on the wall? What do you think?
So typically these lighter drops end up being brawl, but because it's HPG Manifold with the way the caps are laid out, there's a chance at range.
I agree with that a little bit. You could definitely try and play the cap game. I think, as you said, though, the light drop, it's always just a smash uglies and, see who's the top and who's the power bottom.
So the active caps on here are Kappa, Epsilon, and Theta. And the interesting thing about Theta is that it's in a basement. So unlikely we'll see a basement strat with this light of tonnage. But if you're playing range, you can try to play control between Kappa, Epsilon. Oh wow, severe frame drop here. Okay, I'm looking at Aces Wild coming in, and we've got Hunchback 4SP, that is SRMs and small pulse lasers. There's a pair of those. They have actually three of them. They have the Javelin 11F, that is a very popular machine gun variant. See it a lot in these drops. And then they have a Panther, a Katana Cat, which is the light PPC quirked mech. So they do have one ranged mech, the Firestar's Small Pulse, but the rest of their team is going for Brawl.
All right, Hunters for Forged Lands. What they're doing here is kind of interesting. They got two fire starters with small pulses, 8 small pulses. They got a Mauler, which I fucking love. It's actually 4 AC5s, 2 AC2s, something like that, something crazy. And then they've got the 3 Javelin 11Fs.
Yeah, they took Theta with those Javelins early to start it off.
Oh, yep.
So
somebody's got a UAV up over the middle. That's good.
They're investing a lot of their tonnage in that ranged Mauler that they've stuck up on the wall, and then the rest of their mechs are all lights that are brawly.
It's completely lights, yeah.
So the range advantages to Hunters, they've got the light PPC Panther facing off against the 4 AC5, 2 AC2 Mauler. So Mauler definitely wins that kind of trade, depending if they can hit their shots.
That's the only range, huh?
And
so these are old Hunchback 4 SPs, yeah?
Yeah, that's the old build, but it recently got more structure, I believe, so it's pretty heavily quirked for survival.
Ford's gonna go ahead and forge down into the basement here. They're gonna do the old basement.
Aces Wild is looking, but they know this is not what they want to be doing.
I think they're gonna push out of here. I don't think they're actually gonna turtle here. I think they're just looking for a push angle.
These Javelins, the Aces Wild sent their 2 Javelins off to get the cap. They've been spotted. It looks like the Javelins are definitely...
Whose UAV is that?
Oh, no, they're going for the Hunchbacks. They're going for the Hunchbacks. They started for the lights. Now they see the Hunchbacks, and they know the Hunchbacks are alone.
That was a good...
the Javelins need to get back here ASAP.
Yeah. Oh, boy. These guys are
still
just
on
chewing up these Hunchies. Oh, boy.
78% on the focused Hunchback. His leg is gone. He's going to drop.
Oh my gosh.
Panther came off the wall. Not what you want to be doing. You definitely want to be getting angles to support the Hunchbacks, but you do not want to be playing
Especially
on
if you're invested in trying to get the cap.
Yeah, 2 Hunchbacks are down. One of the Firestars, 2 of the Firestars are legged, but the 3rd Hunchback is now getting jumped.
They're coming up on him.
Javelins are still not back in the fight.
But he takes down one of them.
So there's 2 leg Javelins here, 2 Javelins at 75, 78%. Panther needs to get back up on the wall. Can he make that jump? This is do or die.
Definitely not Bob is going.
He failed. Oh no. Well, it looks like he might be. No, he's not quite legged yet. So if he had made that jump and the Javelins were unable to make that jump, which if they're running 2 jump jets, they can make the jump. If they're running 1, they might not be able to. Then maybe there was a chance here for Aces Wild to kite it out. I mean, they didn't even make an attempt to bring their lights back. Their lights are their lights are around Gamma. What are they doing out there?
You know what's really interesting about this, Therax, besides a lot of things, is this Mauler that they brought, that they invested a lot in and brought just nothing but lights. They haven't really even used it all in this fight.
Yeah,
so they actually beat the OP, the opposing force here, with 5 lights. They took down 3 of their mediums and 1 of their lights.
I mean, they got that 5v3, and yes, the Hunchback's tanky, but when your legs are getting shot off by those machine gun Javelins and those small pulse laser Firestars, things go pretty fast.
Now, people probably don't know this guy, player unknown, but maybe he can pull some Chad stuff off against these Javelins. You know, he's kind of beefy.
Yeah, he's got a leg off of the Firestarter.
Take a leg. Take that, Kodiak, you son of a bitch. I'm just kidding. Probably a nice guy. You know.
Well, how would we know either way? I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I think it's relative.
But being nice isn't going to get them the win here. This is over. I mean, the caps don't even matter at this point. It's all about the kills.
Oh wow, that was a sneaky move. He's sneaking right past these guys here.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't be writing it off yet. It looks like
he's gonna make the cap play, right?
Well, yeah, okay, so one of the more wounded non-legged light for FJORD is doing the capping. Their healthier non-legged light has an open orange leg, and he's keeping an eye on the opposing lights. But Aces Wild, I mean, that's a hard task here for 4A, 4F, 5441. What kind of name is that? But All right. He's got a hard task here to pick up multiple
I think it's
kills.
hexadecimal, Therex.
It could be for all I know. What does it spell out? Something really bad?
I have no idea. You said it out loud though.
Uh-oh. There
Oh
goes my
no.
stream. So
Oh
he's
boy.
gonna get in here.
Oh
He might pick up a
boy.
couple
Oh jeez.
kills.
I hope
These
so.
are leg mechs. Maybe if he can find the angle. All right, there picks up the first kill.
Hamster goes
but
down. Wow.
yeah, Pew Pew Gunther is in here
Oh,
now
geez.
supporting, and that's
Oh
it.
boy. Oh jeez.
So yeah, Kodiak BS is coming in here, and
He's not going to be dancing with those legs anymore.
well, his one leg is healthy, but he's got that open side torso as well. I don't. I shot the wrong leg, I think, on the Luscious.
Luscious. Great hair, by the way. Oh yeah. All right.
He picked up the kill. Now he's facing a 67% two-legged Javelin who's coming in for the back angle here.
He's an absolute unit, though.
Light engine on the fire starter.
Well, yeah, he didn't actually need that half. It was holding him back this whole match. This is actually like when Rocky's getting beat, he's getting mad, he's getting tough.
I mean,
it's
they're both legged.
Yeah.
But
okay.
no.
We've gathered enough resources.
No,
It just wasn't in the cards.
I mean, look, they did pretty well there. They've got. I mean, they almost.
I don't know what else to say other than Ford made a great read. Saw an opportunity to take out all of the other team's weight, and they did it very successfully.
Yeah. Splitting off the two mechs to go cap, it left the Aces Wild vulnerable, and FJORD got the scout there as to what was going on. So running through the damage real quick, yeah, your Mauler only did 300 damage there, but it was probably all in the lights in the last half of that fight, not really an impact in the main engagement that decided it. Not Bob with the Panther pulling up a decent 400 damage, but wasn't able to land the kills, and damage spread fairly even otherwise. I mean, focus target goes down early, as expected. It's a bit of an interesting way it played out, and both teams kind of brought brawl with an Overwatch, but one was a Panther, one was a Mauler. It's a pretty big tonnage difference, and ultimately it just came down to the numbers advantage, where one team had the intel, the other team did not.
Indeed. One team made a really good read based on the intel that they had, and I love that Hunchback 4 SP, in like 2016. Loved it then. I've seen it a few times. I don't know if I've seen it when yet, but I like the attitude.
Yeah.
Go back to the good old times.
Next map up, we are on Crimson.
Oh, glad that you asked. That is indeed correct. The racks.
Could you drop the tonnage rules to 0? I think that just solves some of these lobby issues.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Well, they told me to do it.
Yeah, and just disregard that. Teams can police their own tonnage. That's the way I see it.
I did what their racks said.
Yeah, sorry. And then
that? Anywho, yep, I'm gonna change the map now. This is professional. So we're gonna find it. Yes, the old blue Strait now. The evening Strait. Because it's not red anymore,
Yeah, they changed the watercolor, but then they turned it to permanent sunset.
Yeah, but they left the lamps on,
Okay, yeah.
Energy's abundant in the Crimson Strait.
I've barely played this map since it changed. I don't know what's going on. I really need to play more quick play, figure out what's happening on that.
I don't think you need to play any more MechWarrior than you already are. I'm just kidding. Go ahead and play the game and buy some platinum mech packs. Yeah. Do you want to talk about strategies on Crimson Strait there, X? We might not get much time because these teams lock up pretty quick.
How about I turn up the map room here?
Oh man, let's get it going. Let's heat it up. I'm curious who the other person here is. Wow. Cool beans.
So what we've got here on the new Crimson Strait, they have new drop zones and new cap locations. So Theta is way off in the boonies, and that's the third cap. So if teams want a 3 cap, they have to send somebody to go get Theta, which it's quite a walk. So the way that it is with Gamma and Kappa and Theta being your three caps is that you want to control the platform and the saddle, or you want to be controlling the island. The island gives you reasonable shots on both Gamma and Kappa, whereas the platform and the saddle especially controls the access to Theta, because the other alternative route to get around back to Theta, you're going through I don't know, the tunnel or something, and it's just I mean it's much easier to go from saddle to Theta than your alternate routes. So a mech up in the saddle has, or the team sitting on the platform, upper platform saddle, they have the ability to control Theta and Kappa or Gamma. But I don't know. This one, I mean, I played it a little bit today in my match, but I'm not entirely sure how it's supposed to play out. What we got there was a little bit of some funny feeling matches to me.
Yeah, well, I think the moving the caps, 3 cap in ISC, really just makes a new dynamic that we're all kind of not 100% used to. You know, Theta's way out there to the right, and we've seen like teams play this all kinds of different ways. You know, we've seen some range trading. We've seen it go down to caps because of those distance, and teams really wanted to hold a particular cap. And I've also seen teams just smash into each other. In my opinion, there's the 3 kind of strong areas. You mentioned the saddle, but I actually think, you know, controlling this, controlling that area, and then back on the shelf. I know cap is kind of, I guess you could kind of call the upper platform there as well. Forget about Theta. I think the best way to play this map in ISC is to really worry about these 2 caps and either plan to kill them before they can set up for something in a hold, or have a good hold yourself.
Yeah, so you're talking about mostly just controlling the island to control Gamma Kappa and ignore
Yes,
Theta.
indeed. Or, you know, I've seen Team 1 just kind of slice, you know, that way too, and have a strong presence by
Sure.
Gamma.
Yeah, I mean it's new to me. I haven't played it outside of like one scrim and then the match today, so I'm interested to see what these teams are doing.
We don't have to talk about hypotheticals anymore, Therax, because these teams are locked in. I hit the button. We're dropping into the Crimson Strait.
Okay, Aces Wild is currently up 1-0. See if they can continue their winning ways, or if FJORD can reverse this.
Is it forward? Is it forward?
You know, I'm actually second guessing myself on that. It's Hunters of Fjord Lands, but
Fjord.
yeah. So
I'm just gonna keep saying it wrong, not in disrespect to the team, but just because I'm not very smart.
Well, you know, not everyone can be as perfect as somebody like Unfearing is.
That's true. I'm all about the looks, and Fearing's all about the calculations.
All right, I'm looking at Hunters here, and we've got Dervishes. It's Dervin time. They brought another one of those Mauler MX90s. I'm thinking same build. I'm trying to click on it. Yeah, 4 AC5, 2 AC2. The Dervishes are MRM 30 and 4 small lasers for one of them. They got a little bit of variance on these Dervishes. Let's see if we can pick it up. 6 small lasers, 3 MRM or 2 MRM30s, and then 4 small lasers, 2 MRM30s. So, okay, MRM30s and small laser backup.
Whew.
Then we've got a Battlemaster 2C, which is 5 LPLs, and then they have a light mech, which is a flea, and it's bailing out for Theta right as we speak.
Holy smokes, Therax, these teams are taking me back to another year. Anyway, Aces Wild, they're running 3 Cataphract 3Ds, and it looks like they're running AC10s and light PPCs on those. They got a Black Widow, which they're running one of my favorite builds that you don't see often, 2 UAC5s, 1 UAC 10, and then they got a Blackjack with ADR mediums, and what else is that other thing? Fire starter with small pulse.
Yeah, so each team has their one light that's going to be trying to do cap control. And then they've got, well, FJORD's got brawlers, and Aces Wild brought mid-range.
It looks like FJORD is trying to do that kind of slice off that I talked about. Strong presence on Gamma, really try to commit to holding that, and then just go ahead and getting Theta, hoping the other team doesn't. Aces Wild are doing the other thing I talked about and are planning just to smash face, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, so top platform with mid-range deck, and then some Overwatch with brawlers for hunters. So it's going to be on hunters to push here, even though they have cap control. They need to either limit their damage severely and then jump Aces Wild when they make a move. Aces Wild is pushing in.
I'm interested to see how MRM Dervishes do in this situation.
Yeah, I know that's a classic
Are they good for the whole,
faction play. That's what Hunters of Fjordlands does in faction play. Very known for their dervishes there, apparently.
I mean, what kind of Chad is still bringing the 5 LPL Battlemaster and Comp?
I mean, I played that in quick play a number of months ago, and it went
Quick
pretty
play.
well.
Heck yeah, sure.
But yeah, there's some older builds here, like that Black Widow. It's not something you would see commonly at this point anymore. Oh, there's a dervish here. He's pinned out. He is getting pounded. 61% on the Raven.
He's having a bad time here.
Yeah, he's open CT, open side torso.
Their fleet is getting into the back here, it looks like, through the tunnel. So he's distracted one of the cataphracts, but he's about to have a bad time because they're going after him.
Yeah, Firestar's going to take care of that.
The Fjordlands are looking like it's looking pretty tough over there from where they're standing. They still got the hold, I guess, but they're bleeding percentage.
Yeah, Fleet's trying to bail out. Oh, took a big hit there.
Yeah, he's taking a hit trying to save. Oh,
Dervish
wow.
goes down finally
Yeah,
there.
the Reverend. Yeah, Therex, I'm actually just getting word from the production crew. The Reverend did actually punch out, so we're tracking that pod.
All right, well, hopefully he can pick him up and he survives this match, although his mech did not. Looks like another Dervish is getting in trouble, 53%, and it's down.
It's just a killing floor right here at Gamma.
I mean, these cataphracts are tanky mechs. They have bad hitboxes, though, but they look like they're spreading the damage all right. One of them's open in the back. As long as nobody finds his back again, should be fine.
As long as you got open ground, you know, bad hard points aren't going to hold you back that much.
Battlemaster's the next target now, 67%. That might be an XL build.
Getting the old little flanky flank on here, too. It's a matter of time, but they got a UAV up. Anything could happen. This is MechWarrior Online. Let's see how it goes.
Well, I mean, I don't know. FJORD is running out of mechs to carry and armor. Battlemaster's open side torso. Mauler's halved. Not Bob's 58%, pushing in with that cataphract.
He's in charge of this Aces Wild team, I do believe. He's gonna lead by example. He's trying to die the hero's death. He's too old. He wants to die in his mech, but his teammates just won't let him.
Mauler goes down.
Whoop, never mind. Not Bob just popped like an egg in the microwave.
Now, Not Bob's not just the leader of this team. He's one of the comps of the admin of the Intersphere Coalition League.
Oh, that is correct, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the Aces Wild Intersphere. Of course. Wow, this was a fun match. Probably not for FJORD, the hunters there, but it was a fun match for me to watch.
Trying to click on a flea. You know how hard those things are to shoot? They're even harder to click on. But Iron Wolfpack still has both legs, 64%. He is trying to pick up something here for his team. Going into the tunnel with a Firestarter pursuing him.
Up. Up. Oh!
There's a leg gone, and he's dead. Ran into a cataphract camping in the tunnel. So, I mean, these are severely wounded mechs from Aces Wild, but they only suffered one casualty.
That was Bob. Oh, I didn't hear him punch out, so.
Not tracking that pod, are we?
No.
Okay, so top damage actually is the Blackjack with the 8 ER Mead build. Picked up a pair of kills as well for Revos. What is that name? Revoste?
Revoste.
Yeah. I don't know. Sounds foreign. And I don't know my accents very well. I'm sorry.
Is that area-est?
Not Bob's doing 570 as well. That's pretty decent. Picked up a kill, but he did end up dying.
So that Mauler did get a chance to be involved this time because it got its shits pushed on. You got 450 over there on the other side of the team.
Yeah.
You know, I think those dervishes are just, you think MRMs, and I just think, man, that's really hard just to kind of hold an area because those mechs are going to get hot quick, and those MRMs are just spreading everywhere.
They're also backing a lot of small ages. They're brawler mechs. They weren't pushing with them, though. They ended up just kind of taking damage at mid-range and never getting that push on.
Well, the Reverend did a great job taking damage.
Yeah.
For a first team.
Disappointing showing from those dervishes, though. Yeah. I think they were looking for more from them. So we're switching sides with the teams. Do we want to scribble on the map again, or just assume they're running it back?
I think we kind of talked about the strategies here. I'm kind of hoping that these teams... Oh, I got to do the switching, don't I? I got to... changing and switching.
All right, I'm going to switch logos while you're doing team switching.
Yeah. Hold the phone. Okay, here we go. Change places. You know what's great is this is my first go and everybody's got the same tag, you know. Hey, I did it, Dad.
Well done.
I did it. I even remembered. Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about the strat because it's really just flipping the sides. These guys kind of ready up pretty quick. I mean, we can talk about kind of what happened. And like I kind of said before, really what happened was Fjord, the hunters of Fjordland were actually the hunted of Fjordland here. And they just got their ship pushed in by 3 cataphracts. The end.
Yeah, more or less. Dervishes didn't really get an opportunity to get into range to do what they wanted to do.
You know, and that's always kind of the danger with those hold strats, you know, is you can kind of end up turtling in a bad spot. You know, you can kind of get caught bad just trying to hold it. You lose one guy early on, and then it's so easy for them to just push in and just run you over, steamroll you.
Yeah.
That dervish was barely even a speed bump. It was like one of those tables, you know, speed tables. Kind of looking at the strat, map strat here. We got there we go. Oh, wrong color. We'll just even it out here. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, we didn't see anybody use the saddle here.
No, they didn't. They took platform, but they weren't playing control strat. They were just pushing Aces Wild. So they brought mid-range, and they pushed with mid-range. And Fjord brought Overwatch plus Brawl, and they didn't really end up brawling. And yeah, I mean, the shelf, it doesn't really have the best sight lines for a lot of places, but it does have an okay sight line to the platform. I think they were getting out-traded just because it was 3 cataphracts versus 1 Mauler and a Battlemaster that maybe wasn't quite in optimal range.
Yeah, and you know, those dervishes again, hard to hold a cap with. It'd be probably easier to push in and be, you know, the meat of the team.
Maybe just the drop deck was trying to do too many different things.
That's true. Yeah.
Had Overwatch stuff that wasn't strong enough to win the trades, and then brawlers that never really got to push. But if they had pushed, it would have been, you know, just the 3 of them pushing. Like the Battlemaster and the Mauler would have been struggling to catch up on a push. I don't know. Maybe they'll... I mean, they're out of dervishes, so we can't see the dervishes again, which is disappointing. But, you know, we'll see what they run on this next one here.
They're almost out of Maulers, too, Therax.
Yeah, they've used up 2 Maulers. They might see another one, not sure. The Mauler's a reasonably strong mech, but not the strongest.
So, it's 1 for 1 tonight. And dervishes are 0-1, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. But like they're using a Mauler and a Battlemaster when typically you would consider some other chassis to be stronger, like the Hamoto cheese might be what they were saving for this next drop. Or
oh yeah, the old ham and cheese, yeah.
Yeah, the Hamoto cheese is a very strong mech currently, so maybe that's what they're ending up. Maybe that's why they're running the Maulers earlier, is because they're bringing the Hamoto cheese out now.
Saving those bad boys. You know, I think what Aces Wild did here is really the best way to play this map, especially when it's a new map in rotation and you don't really know how it's going to play out yet. Really just run at them so that they actually don't have that time to set up a strat or whatever they want. I mean, they already had the guy over at Theta capping, and they were halfway across the platform. Likewise, you could even do something like push the island around the back of the island to also lots of cover, getting close with a brawl unit, and just kind of run you over like the neighbor's cat that keeps pooping in your flower bed.
Yeah, behind the island is not a quick place, but in comp you can put a dedicated push behind that. It's difficult to scout it coming.
Yeah, and you kind of get that triangle then, the island watching Gamma and Kappa.
Yeah. So there are multiple strat options with the current spawn points and cap layout on this map. I'm just not very familiar with it yet.
Well, Therax, I'm done drawing dicks on this map. These teams are locked in. I'm hitting the launch button, and we're going for round 2 with Crimson Strait. What's the score again? It's 1-1 now, isn't it?
Yep, we're sitting at 1-1. Teams are tied up. 3 matches left to decide. 3 drops left to decide the match. And for anyone just joining us now, these teams are playing for the marbles.
The marbles?
This team decides who gets a chance to try and play for first place next week, or who's playing for second or third. Potentially, depending on other results.
This Aces Wild team plays the 3-0 team next week. That's correct?
Yeah, I bugged my camera.
So if they get the win here, they have the chance to catapult this win into a division win. I hope you figure out your camera there, Axe. We got the teams coming in here.
Capture and hold the resource point.
I don't remember who I did last time. It was Aces Wild, I think. Yeah.
I'm looking at Aces Wild this time, yeah. So we've got Cataphract K2's triple Cataphract K2. And AC10 Light PPC, so the same build that they had on their Cataphracts, just on a different chassis now. They're bringing another Warhammer Black Widow, I'm assuming the same build, another Blackjack 1X, probably also the 8 ER Meat, actually 2 of those Blackjack 1X, so they have no light mech this time around.
No light mech. Wow. Man. Okay, well, looking at the Hunters of the Fjord Lands, they have 2 Crusader 6Ts. They're running small pulses on those. They've got an Atlas Boar's Head. 6 large pulse on that. That's interesting. I hope they're going to be aggressive with this deck. They've got a Black Knight, 4 large lasers, 5 ER mediums, and then they got a small pulse fire starter and a Flea with Flea loadouts. They're sending the Flea early off to Theta. They're really concerned about the caps, it looks like, on this map, even with their push deck.
One thing here is that one of those Crusaders is only running 8 small pulse instead of the 14 that it's allowed to run, so something went wrong there.
Oh boy. Got a bugged code. You know, it looks like one of them's a P version, and one of them's not. So I'm wondering if they're passing the old code on over.
Airstrike online.
Yeah, okay, my camera's fixed now, so that's good.
That's good. It'd be great if you quit breaking it.
Yeah, I don't know what I did.
Aces Wild taking the opposite approach here. Now they want to hold up here on Gamma instead of doing the pushing. They have the catapult, which according to some is the tankiest mech in the game, running those same builds. So I wonder how that build is going to work on a receive. I got to be honest, I think it's going to work pretty good against this particular loadout, simply for the reach.
Okay, one thing I was incorrect on is the Black Widow build. It is 4 AC2, 3 light PPCs, so that is more range than what I was thinking was on it with that UAC 10, UAC 5. We have a tunnel push here.
Yeah, Aces Wild's got a UAV up too above them. They don't want to get flanked by any lights. They got the Blackjacks kind of covering that flank.
Yeah, waiting for the Atlas on this tunnel push. Are they going to dead? Nope, they're standing.
Here's the deal. The Hunters of Fjordland don't need to hunt shit right now because they have the cap advantage. They don't need to push out.
Yeah.
And Aces Wild, they're sitting flat-footed right now, so they're just getting free ticks.
And another thing to remember here is Aces Wild do not have a light mech. They're using their Blackjacks to try and go for Theta. He might get jumped here. And Blackjack's going to struggle to run away. This is like a basement strat, except they're using the tunnel.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Blackjack's okay. One of those fire stars has been spotted. Took a shot. 89%. He's running for
Around
it.
the tunnel.
We have the Blackjacks pursuing, both of them grouping up. We have movement in the tunnel. Are they?
Aces Wild knows that they're in the tunnel. I think that they're trying to cross
Okay,
over.
so they peeked out, but they didn't. They got spotted.
They haven't seen the Chad Boar's Head in there yet, so that's
Now,
good.
these Crusaders do have access to those Blackjacks, but they're going to put themselves in between the Cataphracts and the Blackjacks if they make this attempt.
Yeah, Aces Wild looks like they wanted to just go ahead and commit the Blackjacks to the Theta and fight the two lights, which kind of makes sense. But now they've got the Crusaders coming after them. So,
Yeah, but these
or
Crusaders,
the Crusaders are getting the flank. I mean, that's good too.
Okay, here's the push. The Atlas is pushing with the Black Knight. It's a split push, and it's not completely coordinated, but they do have
I think it's gonna work
surround.
actually. The Black Knight and Boar's Head just need to eat some shit here. In fact, they got a kill.
Those Crusaders are in there now. The Fire Stars are coming over. The Blackjacks are not as fast. They can't get back
Remember,
as
we
fast.
got a fudged code, so we don't know how much wrong is with that build. Laid to K2.
Yeah, this was... I mean, this was some excellent tactical calling. I don't know if this was a strategic win, but it was definitely a tactical victory here.
I think you're seeing some of that past FP experience, those really super annoying 12-man commando rushes, that kind of team play coming together and making a difference right here. Good coordination. I mean,
yeah, they used those lights to try and section off the Blackjacks, then surrounded the main and ditched the fight on the Blackjacks, and the Firestars just get back to the fight and turn it into a 6v4. While those Blackjacks are still out in the boonies looking around Theta.
Their lights pulled those Blackjacks away, and then the Crusaders acted like a hammer to the anvil that was the Boar's Head and the Blackjack.
I mean, I'm very impressed by that drop calling from FJORD.
And only the Boar's Head bit the dust. You know, that's saying something. That's good thinking. Used them as a tank.
Yeah, very tanky mech, the Atlas. So
we got some sharpshooters here.
Low damage numbers.
Numbers.
Black Knight picked up 4 of the kills with under 400 damage. One of the Crusaders under 400 damage. The second one didn't even crack 300. And then on the other side, Not Bob's leading the pack with 357. Another of the catapults also 345. But ultimately, it just it was an outnumbered fight, and the focus on the legs was good from FJORD.
Yeah, and there definitely was some leg shooting there. And some of these lower numbers, you know, they have good leg shooting though, very accurate leg shooting. Did they leg the Boar's Head?
I didn't track how the Boar's Head died. I would guess CT because it was pushing up a ramp, but
I would hope so too. It'd be sad if it got legged. It'd be sad if he was stripping leg armor. Wow, fantastic. Cool beans. I gotta switch the map there, X, because we're heading to a new location, aren't we?
Alpine Peaks. So we're gonna see some range trading unless if something else happens.
Don't say exactly. Don't say that too quick here.
We've
seen a lot of different stuff on Alpine Peaks throughout the years.
Yeah.
And even this week.
You can try to brawl push this, at least in 5 cap. I'm not so sure about 3 cap.
I want to see somebody try.
I've seen LRMs on this map in 2 out of 2 matches I've watched or been involved with. So it's possible that we see an LRM strat. And the thing is that FJRD now has the 2-1 lead after the wins on. They split Crimson Straits. The team split it, and then with the first drop win for FJRD, they have the lead now. So yeah, this is going to be decided on Alpine Peaks. Either Aces Wild has to win both, or FJRD, if they pick up a single win in Alpine Peaks, they win the match.
I'm excited for this there, Ax. You know, I hate Alpine Peaks except when it's Conquest and Quick Play, but I do find it kind of interesting in comp.
I do like Alpine Peaks in comp.
The ISC, the 3 cap, or just any 3 cap, we've seen some really interesting different caps moved around on there. So it does keep it kind of fresh. But boy howdy, is it a large map. There's a lot of squares to cover.
Yeah, yeah, and one of the things with LRMs on this map, people think that LRMs are good because they're long range, but the truth is, on this map, LRMs get outranged. Like, we're talking about trading with ER large lasers at 1,200 meters, 1,300 meters, just some extreme range plays. Quite possible is what we're going to see here on this high tonnage drop here on Alpine Peaks, which, personally, I like playing that kind of stuff, so I'm down for this. Do you want to pop up map strat, run through it, or no?
Well, let's give it a go here while these guys are talking over. They're slowing down their readied upness a little bit. I think we're seeing some adjustments being made. Some trying to counter some of what they've seen out here. Some real mind games.
So we're just gonna run through this real quick here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the contested cap often ends up Sigma, but there's actually some variance on that. We'll run that through. Kappa, you would consider kind of a home cap for Team 2. It's easy for them to take early, but can be hard to hold, depending where the bigs go. So we have push options for up on the mountain for both teams. We could see a fight on the mountain, or we could see teams going for Sigma and play Sigma as their contested cap. You get back caps on Epsilon. You get attempted flanking shenanigans from lights at Epsilon potentially. A light tries to sneak Kappa. Hopefully somebody's looking at it. Could be from either team. I mean, you've got, this map's wild. You've got range positions on the mountain that both teams actually have access to if they can dislodge the opponents from the mountain.
Great ridge right along there, power position right up there, where you really get to start punishing stuff.
Teams could even just ignore the mountain, though. There's all kinds of other range trading positions available to them. They don't have to go mountain if they don't want to. And then you see teams sometimes play around Theta, which is a risky play. You don't want to accidentally take Theta.
I don't know if we could get more dots on the board right now, there, X.
I mean, there's so many places. They can literally play over any of these three caps, depending on their movement. Any of these three caps could be considered the contested cap, and that's rare for a 3-cap Conquest map. Usually it's just the home cap is a safe one, and you just have Overwatch of it just naturally. But with the amount of rotations that you can see on this map from either team, you can really see Team 2 could totally not have access to Kappa. They could be playing Sigma Epsilon, or Team 1 could be playing Kappa. Well, pretty unlikely that they ditch Epsilon, but they could play Kappa or Sigma. It's up to them. And
you definitely can see some Aussie toilet behavior here of just swirling around. Team 2 takes the big mountain, and Team 1 rotates away to Sigma, so they rotate up into Epsilon, and Team 1's now holding Sigma and Kappa, and you're like, how'd that happen?
The one thing to keep in mind is with 420 tons, the mechs that are going to be making these rotations are going to be assaults. Like, you're looking at stalkers almost certainly, and potentially some other slow mechs, even perhaps slower than stalkers. So these teams, if they take too long on their rotations, if they're spending like 5 minutes making a rotation, they could end up losing out on caps.
Well, Therex, they don't have to use the full tonnage. They could go as low as 370.
That's true.
They probably won't, but they could. I mean, we saw an assault on drop 1, a 90-ton assault. Who knows? Oh, wow. I see a lot of green lights here. There's the word. Both of these teams are locked in, Therax.
All right.
I'm hitting the button. Put on a coat. We're headed to Alpine Peaks.
Got the map strat out of the way.
Don't want to do a radio cast. That'd be embarrassing.
Okay, I'm going to try not to bugger my camera.
I don't know how everybody bugs their camera. I like roll my face across the keyboard and it just keeps working. Not Bob, really letting him have it with the good lucks. He apparently thinks that FJORD's really going to need it. Probably got something cooked up here. Dropship's coming in.
All right, I'm going to be looking at Aces Wild when they're arriving. We've got a Stalker and a Battlemaster. I'm betting on ER Larges here. Yeah, 5-year large on the Battlemaster, 6 on the Stalker. They have a Lamalanchi Banshee hero. That is 50% range quirk on this mech or something. So they're running 3 large and a single Gauss rifle. Then they have a Corsair 7A, 3 large, 2 Gauss rifle. And for their lighter element, they're taking a 3 large Cicada and a Flea. I want to know the build on that Flea. It might see shenanigans on here. It's just 5 small. That seems undergunned. Maybe over-engined.
Are you ready for what FJORD is hunting with on Alpine Peaks?
Alright, let's hear it.
It's large lasers. They got 3 Stalker 5S's. They've got a Battlemaster 1G, and they've got 2 Cicada 3Fs. Every one of them with large laser.
So one thing about the Stalkers is there's some build variants. One of them has only 5 large. That happens when you put a large targeting computer and a standard engine in the mech. But the others are just standard 6 large. Hunters of the Fjordlands, one of their Stalkers.
Okay. And one of them has got an extra reach. I kind of think that extra reach makes a big difference.
Yeah, but their Battlemaster's running 6 large, whereas Ace's Wild Battlemaster's running 5, so that kind of evens out.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so we have a sneak cap here on Sigma by the Flea. Cicada's looking for it, but not going yet.
It looks like we're not going to see any Braveheart bullshit right here. We're going to have a real snooze fest of some range trading.
Yeah, so Hunters brought 2 Cicadas, Aces brought 1 Cicada, 1 Flea, so I'm not sure where the cap advantage lies there. The Flea's pretty good for sneaking caps, which against blue lasers is very important here. But they'll have a little bit more trade potential with those Cicadas to try and get angles for FJORD.
FJORD doing tickle damage on Alex here, who's kind of sitting here to protect Epsilon in the Corsair. I think Alex is going to have a hard time with that because the trade angles and view lines from there are kind of buggy, or not buggy, but it just looks really weird. And Battlemaster's got superior mounts. He probably can't even see him, and he's just getting shot and farmed here.
So I'm in the cockpit of the Banshee hero right now. He's up on a mountain peak. He's got great overwatch in the map, but his targets are still 2,000 meters away. Even if it was range quirks, his large have an optimal range of 1,087 meters.
Alex is like, we got to do something about these mountain guys because they're sending the Flea up there. They're moving the Stalkers and everything over to deal with those 2 mechs there. Interesting move that really gives a lot of space now for FJORD to either take advantage of the map, just hold here, get a cap. And they don't seem to be doing any of that. So that's great.
Yeah, Not Bob's got the perch, and he's got a great view of the field. Won't be able to do a lot of damage from where he is, but Hunters need to make a play for a cap, so...
I like that spirit, though. He's just like...
This Flea's going in 1v2. I mean, the Battlemaster's going to have a hard time shooting the Flea with torso pitch issues. Oh, that Flea's going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, he also popped a UAV, or did they?
No, I would take that 1v1 in a Flea, but I don't know about a 1v2.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't... I guess the idea is get them to stop shooting their trade stuff down there.
Yeah, I mean, he's turning a Battlemaster in his Flea,
he just
so
needs to buy some time, I guess, as long as he's not getting too hurt. That kind of
you don't want to lose those legs.
I mean, they got the cap lead too.
Yeah, the longer this goes on, the better for Ace's Wild. Cap wins are very real on this map.
I like how Ace's Wild have moved back to this ridge too to kind of just... They're not in any danger to protect Epsilon. And FJORD's really just... All they've done is really just commit hard onto the Sigma side and have nothing to show for it.
Flea just took a big hit. CT is open yellow now. He thought he had cover and he did not. He's getting worked on by 2 mechs. Stalker's coming in here with Baron.
Okay.
And the Stalker has arm mounts, so it has less torso pitch issues getting its weapons to bear than the Battlemaster will.
It looks like they're going to successfully bully these guys off the mountain, I think.
Possibly, but that Flea's...
It looked like the Flea was going to run away for a second, and now he's back for a little bit more.
The Flea's too valuable to lose on this map.
I agree. They're really committing weight over here, but I don't think I don't think it's a problem for them.
Cicada's able to torso pitch. Battlemaster's able to torso pitch. So they have some return fire capabilities on the Stalker. They're bringing up, Aces Wild is bringing up a third mech. They're bringing up a Battlemaster here. That will take the top and will... I'm seeing some movement from Hunters of Fjordland on the far side of the map for Sigma. So while they're getting pressured off the mountain here, they're making a play for Sigma.
Now, I noticed that Aces Wild have a sliver cap on Epsilon, so that's kind of interesting too. That might actually come to bite them, you know, should Fjord be able to get the cap lead back and they're able to kind of hold. These guys are still up on the mountain, and now Aces Wild had to commit a lot of time and weight to this, and they're evening it up. They brought their other Cicada over here now too, so now it's back to a 3v2.
Battlemaster's bailed out for Hunters of Fjordland. He got opened up CT. He's yellow, open CT, side torso, and he's gone. Like so they have conceded the mountain now. The control has gone to Aces Wild on the mountain. Are they going to use it? No, they looks like they might just leave it right away. So, but that whole mountain distraction has allowed for Sigma to, well, they're trying to take it, but they're using big fat mechs on there every time they get touched.
Yeah, but they're kind of doing it right here. Well, Top Cat's now in a bad spot. But what you want to do in these situations when you just have to bully a line is to walk back and forth off of that one line so that you're getting shot and then you're immediately working towards that cap again. But they keep dipping in too low here.
And here's Aces Wild Flea. He's come back from the mountain. He's around Sigma trying to do some harassment. 69% though. So anytime somebody looks at him, it's going to be very scary. But he's getting some back shots on these distracted mechs. Top Cat and the Stalker, player unknown, 54%. So these are some really heavily wounded Stalkers.
Yeah, they're really bleeding percentage now. They look bullied AF right now.
Damage is spread on these Stalkers. They're a relatively healthy 50%, but still, 50% is 50%.
Bob's sitting up here protecting Sigma. He's sitting at 69% right now.
Oh man, Watery Tart, 50% in his Stalker. He's halved. So it looks like the trades are going the way of Aces Wild.
Yeah, Aces Wild, they have a few hurt mechs, but they've also got Zool sitting at 85% in a Stalker, and we all know how a Chad Stalker at the end of the game can really change things, don't we, Therax?
Oh yeah, Stalker's an excellent mech.
Yeah, to have as a clutch mech at the end of a game. Yeah, sure is.
Well, to have at any point in the game.
Well, those percentages look horrible, but they've finally managed to flip Sigma.
First mech goes down. Flea picks up the kill. Wait, was that an XL Engine Stalker? Am I seeing things here, or was that XL Engine?
I didn't see it. I wasn't clicked on his paper doll.
I don't know why
How do you even
XL
know?
Stalker. So I'll need an explanation on that.
I would XL a Stalker, but I'm super Chad. Oof, and they're just falling now. Now the only question is, their X, yeah, it's going to be a 6-0.
Yeah, so the mountain...
Fantastic play, yeah.
The aggressive play on the mountain to push out the Op 4. Not Bob, possibly racking up damage here in his Limalanchi.
Even if it's not damage, if it's tickling, like, it's probably hard to do anything to flip that Sigma cap, because he's pretty far out. He's a big Banshee. He's got a lot of armor.
Early cap control and the play that FJRD made for Sigma, they didn't have a small mech to stick on the cap, and that just that's kind of what decided it, not having a light, I would argue. We're looking at damage here. Not Bob, 776 in that Banshee. He had excellent sight lines over every part of the map.
He was far out too, so he was shooting nonstop, I'd imagine.
I mean, if he was in range, his damage would be much higher, but he also would have been subject to return fire. So numbers relatively even across everyone else, except one of the Stalkers comes up a little bit short, and one of the Cicadas, I guess, got picked off early as well. I didn't see what happened there. Pretty decisive win for Aces Wild, though, and that ties up the match.
Yeah, they really had something cooking there. You know, what I love, Therax, all but one of our casts has been a 3-2. And this is great. I love it. Close matches. Every division's a great division to watch in MechWarrior Online comp. I would argue.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we've been I've been very skillfully picking these matches. I'm going to take credit for that.
I need to flip these guys, correct?
Oh, and I need to switch team logos. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Switch it. Boom. Drop a Sean bomb over on the other team. Bring the Not Bob and the Zelda Kelda. And there we go, Cody. I'm telling everybody the names. Yeah, yeah. I'm like a toddler every time they go to the bathroom with running this lobby. I did it! Wow, that was a great match. Are you switching the logos there, Rex?
Yes, logos are switched, so they should be correct.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I like a lot of what FJORD was trying to do, a lot of the thought process there. I just think that Aces Wild, you know, they had they knew how to react, and they had a great deck and a great plan for holding Sigma with that La Malinche up there on that peak.
Yeah, let's pull up the Etch-a-Sketch here and draw it out. So
Be my guest.
We had a cap on Theta from Team 2 that was never contested by Team 1. Team 1 ran their flea out to Sigma. They got that because they had the faster light, and then they pushed up the mountain. I mean, you know, dislodged the two mechs that FJRD had put in the India 9 high point there. I'm liking where Not Bob was perched. I don't even know what grid that is. It's like way back there, maybe Gulf 4 or something. But you just had those trade positions that it was a cap situation where FJRD was forced to try and make a play for Sigma with their fatties, and the fatties can't hide behind the cap. It's a little bit of an interesting play there.
Yeah, you were arguing that a light might have been the difference here, and you know, you're right. It probably would have been easier to take Sigma, but again, Aces Wild just had that whole map kind of locked down. They had a really good game plan from the Team 1 side, I think.
But you still have to get Sigma. Like, you can't just perch back and have Epsilon, and then, you know, if you don't have Sigma and Kappa, then you end up losing that. But so getting the early cap on Sigma, and then you can deny it with the blue lasers, that was kind of key to the game plan, I think. I mean, probably would have been able to take cap with a flea as well, or gain. They were winning their trades well enough that maybe the caps weren't the decider there, but it did put pressure on FGRD to try and make a play, which put their mechs in the open. So the flea also was critical on that push on the India 9 mountains. So.
Well, not just push, but just the distraction.
Yeah.
Being able to take some of that pressure off of what they were trying to do on Epsilon. Not only that, it was able to let those range elements rotate up to that ridge pretty much free, because otherwise they would have been punished harshly by the Battle Master and the Cicada up there. But that flea was able to distract them long enough where they were able to get up on that ridge, where they were able to eventually push them off of that mountain.
Yeah. And I don't know, it was pretty interesting. I mean, both teams, they got some adjustments to make here. It was okay, so yes, Aces Wild had the decisive win, but really I think the match was perhaps closer than what the numbers show, in that Team 2, I mean, or FGRD, they just make some adjustments. I think that they could...
By the end of that, they still had 6 mechs standing, and they were all at like 50%, so they all did a pretty good job doing their role. You know, I guess there was a couple that had some low damage numbers, but they were staying alive, right? And sometimes just being alive, just being there, existing in a spot, can force a team to play differently, or double think a move that they want to make.
Yeah, the damages were somewhat low on Aces Wild, even though they still had all their mechs up. It's not inconceivable that Aces Wild, that FGRD could make some adjustments, come out and win that drop if they were to replay it. It wasn't unfathomable that the results could have been different.
Now, if FJORD doesn't pull this off, do they not have a chance at number 1?
It all depends on how the other team, the leader of Division D, is doing, which is
right now.
Force. Yeah, they have a match this week. I don't know the results of that. And then next week it was Aces Wild that was playing them, I believe. So, but Division D is so close. It could be. I mean, there's multiple different teams that are up for potentially winning it at this point, with the results unknown for that opposing force match. If they lost this week and lost next week, they could finish as low as 4th. I mean, who knows, right?
What a tight division for Division D.
Yeah, it was a
Big D. That's what I like to think here.
That's why I'm picking up these matches here, because it's a tight division. I want to see what happens with it.
Is there a punching bag though for all these teams to be 2-1, 3-1?
Well, for 3 teams to be tied and 1 team to be just a little bit ahead of them, there's 2 teams that are not not doing as well in the division.
I bet they're learning a lot though, because from what I'm seeing, these teams are playing well, and I bet that they put up great fights against them. It was no cakewalker. Man, I'm excited. I'm seeing green lights there, Axe. I'm getting antsy. I got multiple chairs in here, but I only need the edge of my seat right now.
Yeah, same. This is tight. I mean, we're going to drop 5, deciding the match. That is as close as this gets.
Wow. Look at that. Both teams are locked in. I'm hitting the button. We're going back to the Alpine Peaks, and we're going to decide tonight who wins this match and possibly what the division looks like next week. Don't bug the camera.
I know. I'm trying so hard. I don't know what's doing it.
It's probably the cold weather. Not Bob, killing him with the good luck again. He's been doing that all match, though.
Okay, my camera's not bugged, so we're good here.
Nice guy, great hair.
Alright, I'm going to be looking at Hunters of Fjordland as they're coming in their dropships. We see Ravens. Ravens tell me that there's Lerms. Now, am I correct, or are these ER large? These are ER large Ravens, so we are not seeing Lerms. And Corsair, Goss, 3 ER PPC, 2 light Goss on that. Their Lemalanchi's running triple ER Peep and 1 light Goss, and there is a quirk on that allows you to alpha that. And then they're bringing in another Corsair, also Goss, light Peep, and then they have PPCs and small lasers on their Crusader. A lot of PPCs and Goss, and generally, while we were preferring not to take Goss and PPCs on this map because of the issues with the hitbox of the terrain.
Ace is wild. Not Bob's like, I'll have me another. He's out here in that same La Malinche from last match. I'm really glad that I've learned to say that now. There's 2 Stalker 5S's with what you would expect on them. There's a Corsair 7A, that's with the 3 larges and the 2 Goss. They got a Flea with 5 ER smalls, which seems weird to me, but I don't know. And a Cicada 3F, I'm assuming with large lasers, yes.
So we've got a play here.
Yeah.
2 Ravens versus 1 Flea. They are going for Sigma. They're not taking a high percentage of it before they're bailing off. The Flea could come back and grab that.
He can rock that line like I talked about. But
okay, so they're bailing out here because of the mechs coming in, particularly that Banshee's got the angles on it.
I don't think that's a bad idea. Wow, so they've got they're putting it almost in the same spot as Not Bob, but they know that spot. They've already got a strike up there.
Yeah, so just settling in for the trade. We don't have much of a mountain play, just the 1 Cicada from Aces Wild is looking to sniff up the high peak in the mountain. But Hunters are not really playing for the mountain either, sending a single Crusader.
Yeah, I think slowly but sure, yep, Aces Wild are going to be able to flip Sigma here with not too
So the Raven's a bit of an unconventional pick. It does have range quirks for those ER larges. I think there's maybe some ER large quirks as well, but the hitboxes on the Raven are not very good. And
Flea's opened up torso on Sigma here, so he's able to neutralize it, but he's got to be careful trying to flip it. Unless he's 5 ER smalls because he's a light engine.
You know, he might be a light engine.
Could happen. Disgusting. All right. Just kidding.
There's a strike behind him. Oh, he just got hit in crossfire and he's backing up into that strike.
Oh,
strike misses.
he's 1 touch now. Actually, that torso is just not having a good time.
Yeah, that was some peeps in a crossfire.
Oh man, he's got to.
Might need to just back off, play it safe, save his mech.
I think
for the
he's
late
afraid
game.
to even run away. So I think he's just gonna hang out there for quite some time.
You know, that Flea's most valuable in the late game when maybe some of the mechs are dead and it's got more ability to get caps without anyone looking at him.
I'm pretty sure it was Sean Bomb that bombed all over his torso there.
Now, they've been in play on the mountain here. The Cicada's been pushed off by the Crusader with the assistance of a Raven. Raven does not have jump jets and fell off the mountain.
Crusader's still trying to make a play at that.
Oh, Cicada's lagged. Cicada 3F has
Oh.
jump jets, but he is lagged. Oh, man. So he's basically out of the fight. I mean, the Crusader's taking damage, but...
That's not, I don't think people will be telling that legend of Gilda.
Yeah, he's going to stand on the cap here with his remaining of his mech. I mean, full
Fjord's
capping it
getting that
is of
E
some use.
flip back. Well, not easy, I guess. The flea's gonna come and contest this, but man, I don't know. Ace is wild in a really hard spot now.
Hunters are letting the Cicada go, but yeah, with the Cicada lagged and this flea practically dead, it's going to be hard to get those caps back. Aces Wild has time. They don't have to rush his play. They could just play it safe with their flea.
Okay, well, he was able to neutralize Sigma. So that helps. That buys them time for sure. Pretty safe, I guess. Not Bob's. His percentage doesn't look great, but he looks okay.
73% is pretty healthy. Banshee's got a lot of quirks.
He's just a little hot, you know.
All right.
Overheating a bit.
How are the stalkers doing? I'm seeing 70s, 80%. Nothing looks open yet.
I'm sorry, I'm still caught up on the legend of Kelda here as he's making his journey across the map.
I mean, he still has his 3-year large. He can still do damage if he finds the angle.
Okay, let's see here. I mean, I haven't seen La Malinche in this position before, but it seems to be a darn good one for whoever's up there.
Yeah. It's pretty far back, but it does control Sigma and has the potential to control Epsilon. Raven's trying to get angles here on that flea. I mean, Artillery Hamster's at 69% with an open leg on that Raven. But that flea, they smell a kill here.
Yeah, the player unknown's trying to shoot through the ground to kill this. He's trying to wallbang the flea. That'd be cool if that was a thing. Oh, not the strike. Oh, jeez.
The flea's still standing. And it's exceedingly risky for the Raven to try and get a shot on him. There should be Overwatch covering that flea.
I just want to point this out. That is a light engine on that flea. He lost that torso.
Okay, so now we know why the armament's a little bit light. Open CT now. Raven got a half burn.
I don't think he should keep messing around.
No, he shouldn't be peeking. He's only got the 3-year small. Just stay in cover. Save your legs.
Oh, well, they're trying to leg this Raven. That makes sense. Well, he's CT'd too. The artillery hamster's not having a great time here. Somebody should put him in a hamster ball and get him some exercise.
I mean, is the flea really bullying him with 3-year small, though? Like, this is a risky play. I would not be peeking that flea.
I don't know what to think. Percentages look not great kind of on both sides. Caps are pretty close. This is the slobber knocker that we were hoping for. There finally goes the flea, though, and that's going to be a huge pickup for FJORD.
Finally ran out of luck on one of his peaks. So now Artillery Hamster's making the play for the cap. Can they get it? Or is it covered? Oh, they're legged on the cap. Artillery Hamster got picked off. Not Bob, I believe.
Was it worth it there? Because they already had a cap lead.
I mean, maybe. If they can tuck in there, there's plenty of places you can have cover with that Raven.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You can full cap it and just sit there.
I mean, if worst that happens is they lose this Raven, they traded a light for a light, and then they got a great cap on Sigma now. Yeah. So, I mean, it does make sense. It's just it's a little risky because now he's legged.
Yeah, okay, so one of their lights is legged, but presumably their other Raven still has his leg, and we're looking at a dead flea and a legged cicada. So that
sounds like toast. Unless you know these bigs can make a heck of a play.
Of course, there's open here, Sean Baum. He's open orange, so that could die soon. Corsair's got a rather large CT. Crusader's uncontested in the mountain now. He's low percentage, but it's pretty well spread, just an open side torque.
Man, I don't know if there is a response to this at this point. Fjord's got great position. It's so hard for Aces Wild to take a cap without a light.
They have another minute here before the Caps get desperate, but they need to start
And that
figuring it out.
Banshee on that hill is just oppressive, you know? Like,
Artillery Hamster is walking his Raven off of the cap. He's successfully made it off the cap into cover. I'm impressed.
yeah, getting good calls there from, and not many people know this guy, but player unknown. So
We have a play here. Alex is making a move for the cap and his Corsair. The cover from the Stalkers, they've moved up.
yeah, I kind of don't want to watch this because I don't think it's.
But
gonna
we also are seeing,
Oh,
wow. Not
wow.
Bob gets a snipe on the Crusader, which is making a play for the Kappa cap. Got greedy trying to go for the 3 cap, and lost its XL side. So
I mean,
this comes down
Fjord
to Sigma.
is hurt. Fjord is hurt too. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
Lot
their
of
percentages
red
are
look
very
on there.
low. On the percentages, Aces Wild is ahead. They picked up a kill on that Corsair, the one that was open CT, I imagine. It's just
Their
a healthy
Banshee-
Raven that they're facing from Hunters of Fjordland. So if they have range control on Kappa, and then they can get
light-
Sigma, they'll have enough caps still.
The light thing won't hurt them too much, as long as they've bullied down the Banshee pretty much. He's open CT. His belly hurts a little bit. I mean, the best thing they have to defend this cap right now is that Raven. And not to take anything away from a Raven, but you know, just ideally not what you
Ooh.
want.
Second Corsair goes down.
Ooh. Well,
So
this is great. Oh man, what a match this is.
yeah, I'd give the advantage to Aces Wild right now.
I
They've
think
got
you
a
have
strike
to.
on. Wow,
Oh,
Raven's down.
jeez. Wow, wow.
And the healthy Raven is no longer a healthy Raven. He's at 69%, took a hit from somewhere. Still has both his
Nice.
legs, but this is going to be a hard one for him to clutch out. Open side torso.
Torsoed, yeah. Maybe someone will get the headshot on him. And then player unknown's up here. He's like, "Oh, I got such a sore tummy."
Now, they do pick up a kill here on the leg cicada. That thing was alive for far too long, in my opinion.
What a legend.
Yeah, he managed to get a cap that was relevant, like full cap, a cap. I love
Difference
Melanchi here.
maker.
Player
I mean,
unknown,
he-
open CT.
Difference maker, you know. If he doesn't take that cap while he's legged, I mean, we're not sitting in a close showdown.
Yeah.
Caps wise, but mech wise, more importantly.
I mean, Aces Wild already had that cap, but they did put more percentage on it, and that more percentage
And
is
Aces
relevant.
Wild aren't happy with just the cap win. They're going for the KFC double down. They're going to double team player unknown, and he's going to get spit roasted
Yeah,
here.
player unknown
like,
was the last one standing. The Raven got
like
picked
some
off on
kind
the cap.
of like some kind of consensual sexual act.
So this is an Aces Wild match victory, 3-2 over Hunters of Fjordland.
I was
And-
talking about what a great position Fjord was in, and I'm like, what do you respond? And I guess that's it. Aces Wild just step up. They rip open their shirts. They show Fjord like, look at our hairy chest, and they pump them the fuck out of Alpine piece.
And with this win, Aces Wild now has control of their destiny going into the final week as they're playing against the leader of the division.
What a match!
If I got that
Outstanding.
correct, which I think I do.
I'm sure somebody will be here to correct you, nonetheless.
So we're
Look
looking
at
at
these damage numbers.
these
Wow.
damage numbers. They're fairly low, so that's some precision pickoffs on the CTs
That
of these
sharp
mechs.
shooting, yeah.
I was expecting somebody to have a high damage total, but nobody's over like 504 is the top, 530 is the top damage here out of one of the stalkers from Aces Wild. Yeah, I mean, wow, I was expecting more damage. I guess some
Well,
XL
RX
engines, CTs getting cored out, but yeah,
I was expecting a great match, and that's what we got tonight.
I would agree. Definitely, it's a 3-2 decision with Aces Wild coming out in the lead. Close drops, plenty of action. I mean, trading, but still action trading. Maneuvering for positions and cap points.
That's right. Had me on the edge of my seat. Whew. Another 3-2 match on the Judes and Therax cast. Outstanding time. I'm happy that we didn't see any LRMs.
I kind of wanted to see an LRM strat
I know.
just
you
for
kept
team to
saying it.
tempt it, but
Yep.
I was quite happy with the games that we had today. These were some good drops. Good match overall.
Thanks so much for the cast today, Therax.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining me, CptJudas. Holding out that, running the lobby for me, helping with the co-casting here. Yep.
Yeah, it's getting pretty legit, this this stream.
Yeah, and thanks for the teams for letting us cast their match, and thank you to whoever's watching for taking the time to spectate these pilots and what they're doing here in their division. And we'll be back next week, right, Judas? You're going to come join me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I will. I probably am going to go ahead and hit up the Denny's Grand Slam breakfast tonight, after I probably try to nail a chick on Tinder, consensually. But, what a great deal that Grand Slam breakfast is. Go ahead, fill your tummy with that tonight, tomorrow morning, and then, come back for some more MechWarrior action.
Yeah, I've got actually another stream I'm setting up for tomorrow afternoon. It is at 3 Eastern, which would be, 2100 UTC. I'm planning to do another cast. I'm not sure if Judas is joining me or not. He's not sure yet either, I don't think. So, yeah, if you're interested, come back for the stream tomorrow, and that's what we're doing. All right, that's it. I'm calling it. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the teams, and that's all. That's it.